Scotty, how are we doing today, mate?
Yes,
Very
Scotty.
well, boys. How are we doing? You right, Josh?
From back in the day. How you doing?
1 second, Scotty. You're a bit low.
I think we've got the audio a bit funny here, Scott.
God, Scott, I can hear you now. How you doing?
Yeah, very well. How are we, boys? Right?
Yeah, struggling to get through it, to be honest. Going through the motions today, but...
That's why we're so late. I didn't even want to start.
It's difficult, isn't it? I was listening to you boys just then and talking about being outplayed and stuff. And look at the 2 wins that we've had prior to this, Leicester and Watford, last minute, 96th, 97th. And is it a papering over the cracks job?
But the thing is, with that,
That's
Scotty,
4 points there.
I get you, but I would say, especially that Leicester game, we deserved that win.
Yeah, we definitely outplayed
that
Leicester.
win.
Yeah.
And I thought for the 90 minutes, we did what Southampton did to us today to Leicester.
But it's about putting the ball in the back of the net at the right time, isn't it?
Of course.
And the Reguilon chance comes after, I think it was Che Adams who should have scored within the first couple of minutes. I think you were talking about. Today was a loss, yeah? No two ways about it. We lost the game from being in front, but if you look at it over 90 minutes, we could have scraped a point if you take it on like face value. But aside from that, there wasn't enough for me to warrant 3 points. I think Davis is a right-footed swinger for the first goal.
That is awful, isn't it?
It's not good enough. It's not professional football. It's not Saturday league, Sunday league. If I did that on a Sunday, I'd be absolutely crucified coming in at half time. Like there's no defending that. I think the 2 holding midfielders in the first half as well. We play with a 2, so we have that protection to let the other 3 do what they have to do. But they're both stepping out. They're stepping to like players in like 10, 15 yards outside the edge of the box where they've got no right to be there. And neither of them have got the instinct to cut out a pass. There's no interceptions. They're stepping in there to try and put a tackle in. I think the heart's in the right place. I just don't think the end product from either of those 2 tonight was good enough, especially in that first half. We came out, obviously they got a rocket at half time from Conte, but there wasn't enough in that first half to warrant us taking anything from that game.
So is there anything you would have changed then, Scott?
I looked at the Brighton game, and that first half was probably the best that we've been.
Definitely.
12 months, 18 months.
Yeah. I would say that and the Leicester game as well, because I thought we were actually brilliant in the Leicester game.
I think we were good in the Leicester game, and I'm a pessimist, so I'll always revert back to it. But we were 20 seconds away from losing it.
Yeah, it's true.
So
it's true.
It's difficult to like take the positives. I was dancing around the living room and happy as you both were when the second goal went in. The first goal, I just sat there. I was like, "We've got a point." Same as when it went in at the end of the game today. I was like, "Okay, we've got a point."
Like as well today.
We kind of got away with it.
Yeah.
First half of Brighton, we were very, very good. But the second half, like even the last 10 minutes of the first, going into the second half, we weren't great. We didn't control it. We're playing against 2 ball-keeping teams, in Brighton and Southampton. We know that.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the ball. I don't think that's our style. I don't think we have the centre midfielders to dictate play. And we do rely on that front 3.
But isn't that in itself like so effed up? That we are Tottenham, we don't have the players to keep the ball against Southampton and Brighton. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but sorry, carry on.
I think the right-hand side today, if I take Sanchez with that as well, Sanchez, Moura, and Emerson, none of them are good on the ball. Like that first touch is not good enough. I thought Lucas got away with one by putting in a fantastic cross for the Sun goal. If you take that isolated incident away, I don't think he was his usual self. And I'll back him to the hills. I think he's fantastic.
Scotty, I don't think he has been for the past 3 or 4 games, to be honest.
I think he was good for about 3 games under Conte, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got that in him where he gets me off the seat. I think he's an exciting player to watch because he's got that turn of pace and he'll pull away from a player and he'll make something happen. But if you take the passages of play where he has the ball at his feet and he tries to find like a 5-10 yard pass, 9 times out of 10, it's not good enough. And same with Son. I hate to get on his back as well, but Josh, I think you and I spoke about it a couple of weeks back. His back to goal plays really poor.
Yeah.
Really poor.
He needs to be running into space. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like the two up top. That's why I like that rather than playing
Kane
him as
can
a
play
number
his
10.
back to goal. Sonny can run in behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ideal. But if it doesn't come to Kane, we're talking about a player that has got to cover the width of the pitch. If we're talking about playing out from the back, and it pains me to say it, but without Dyer, I think he's probably the best long passer that we have in the team at centre half.
Yeah,
it's true.
And if they can't find Kane with his back to goal, and they're just aimlessly playing it forward, which they did for a lot of the first half, panicking because we were under that much pressure. If you play a hopeful one up with a bit of purpose on it, we've got a chance. But it just really disappointed me today. Like the first 5 minutes we were poor, then we came into the game, we got the goal, and then it was like Mourinho. We like sat back again. We didn't build on that. The emphasis was like, okay, we've nicked one here. We were against the Kosh, under the Kosh, sorry. And we kind of just sat back again. And it felt like 12 months ago where we'd go 1-0 up and we were holding on. And we all know what happened there. Ultimately, we conceded in the last 10 minutes. And it kind of had that vibe about it again. Second half, we came out and we were good. And again, we got the goal. And we just didn't do enough. I think the two crosses they put in today were fantastic. There's not loads you can do about it. I think Bentancur could have trapped the runner for the second. Sorry, I think the third goal we were just a bit rabbit in the headlights.
Were they both Ward-Prowse? Yeah.
Both Ward-Prowse, and that's what happens when you've got quality from the midfield, right? We just don't have that quality in the midfield. I mean,
would you play him over Højbjerg or Winks today?
I think in hindsight, yeah. But I was happy
at
with
the start of the game. Would you go if you had Ward-Prowse as a? Because I think he's brilliant from dead ball situations, but I don't know how today he's proved that he's brilliant.
Proved it today.
No, he's good open player. I think he's very underrated because his set ball is that good. I think he was incredibly unlucky not to make the Euro squad. Incredibly unlucky. I think he's underrated on the ball for what he does in that team. If you put him in, I'd say any of the big six, bar City and Liverpool, I think he'd start. If we're being brutally honest, I think he'd get in that Chelsea team. I think at the moment he definitely gets in the Tottenham team, walks into the Arsenal, West Ham team without doubt,
and the United team definitely as well.
Without doubt, he takes Fred's position. What he offers on a dead ball, when that ball went out for a corner, it felt like it was a penalty every time. You know that sinking feeling you get when the ball goes out.
It's so true though. It's so true.
Yeah.
I'm never an advocate of an out-swinging corner, but when he had it on that opposite side to what his favoured is, I was looking at it, I was like, we're in trouble because Lloris does come flapping. He comes and very rarely catches.
One of them today.
No, he hasn't been that bad this season.
But today he's been better.
He's been better this season, but today he was back to that old flapping.
I wouldn't say consistently. I remember one where he completely flapped, but I was very impressed with Lloris on a whole today. I think he kept us in the game.
No, but there were then times where he could have come out and caught it, and he didn't. Do you know what I mean? Because he was scared.
Of his game. That's definitely a trait of Lloris's game. I don't think that's left him at all. And you got Fraser Forster in the opposite net, who's 6'6", 6'7", and it's a lot easier to come and get him. Lloris tries to come out, but the intent isn't to catch the ball ever.
It's to punch it, isn't it?
It's to punch it or palm it or push it away, and that with that kind of set piece, with the pace and the whip that Ward-Prowse puts on it, I think left us quite vulnerable. There were some defensive mishaps. Look, we could have lost this game tonight easily, 5 or 6-3, 5 or 6-2, whatever it was.
So true, isn't it?
The chances that we gave away, I'm not being funny. If you watched, I know that there's a big gap between Chelsea, City and Liverpool. They don't concede those chances. There was one in the first half where there was a straight ball through the middle, from the middle of the park. I think Romero ran into Sanchez. Sanchez ended up on his backside. Romero's trying to cover, and Boja from Liverpool sliced it up, scuffed it wide. The first chance in the first couple of minutes should have been put away.
That was the Shea Adams. Was that the Shea Adams one? Where
one of the centre forwards. Sorry,
I think it was Shea Adams actually.
Yeah, in the first minute.
Yeah. No, that was the first minute where the ball over the top, where we had a warning and Lloris made himself big, but it was one that he dragged wide.
Right.
Probably
No,
30,
that was
40
Brocha.
minutes
That
in.
was Brocha.
Oh, that one was.
That was
See,
Brocha,
there's so
yeah.
many chances.
Yeah.
We're getting mixed
Exactly.
up.
But we had our chances as well today.
Not the
We
kind
did,
of
we
chances
did.
that
As
they
many
had.
as Southampton have. Southampton also completely outplayed us. But when you're saying that Southampton could have scored 6 today, we could have scored 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
We still lose the game.
We still lose the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And we
So
deserve to
losing
lose the game
3-2
today.
or losing 6-5, it makes no ends. Today and Sunday was a massive opportunity to put real pressure, not even real pressure, to pull away
To
from
put
that
ourselves
top
in pole
4
position.
situation.
So what's
There
your
was
thoughts
6
on
points
top
on the
4 now,
table to be
Scotty?
had.
What's your thoughts on it?
On what, sorry?
Top 4.
Top 4 now, honestly.
We've made it really difficult. Really
Well, what
difficult.
was your opinion before the game today on top 4?
Well, it's one of those, isn't it? It's the age-old question of like points on the board versus games in hand. And we were 4 points off top 4 with 4 games in hand. So we win today, we win Sunday. And as a Spurs fan in your head, you're going, yeah, 6 points. So we're 2 clear, 2 games in hand. I know Arsenal, we only had 1 in hand on before tonight. But now we're behind them on merit. And that's really difficult to take because I don't think we've been that bad. But I go back to what I said at the start. A lot of it feels Watford, 96th minute. We didn't play well at all. We were awful. Leicester, yes, okay, we got the win, but again, 95 and 97. So that's 4 points we've picked up post 95 minutes in the last 3 games.
And we were trying
Chelsea
to do it
game.
today, weren't we?
Yeah, but Scotty, how many times did we do that under Pochettino? Put big win points in the last minute of games. I mean, that happened time and time again under Poch. Doesn't it show a never say die attitude?
That's fantastic. And when we scored that equaliser, I was like, okay, a little bit of a get out of jail free card here. But my first thought was, okay, that's 7 points we've gained post 93, 94 minutes. You can't sustain a top 4 push with that kind of output. You can't. It has to be done. It has to be settled. We're a better team than Southampton. We are. Defensively.
They've outplayed us twice.
But they've outplayed us twice. I think we dropped 2 points there. I think we were a bit on the away game, I mean. I think we were a bit unlucky with a couple of decisions, but I think that swings and roundabouts. There's plenty I can pull up that Spurs have got away with in that regard. I just feel like we let the ball drop today, big time. We came out first 5 minutes, and it was like watching City play Brentford. I didn't watch that game, but I assume that they were all over it.
So true.
You wouldn't be able to tell who was the team pushing for Champions League and who was the team that finished 16th last season. You'd think it was Southampton.
Yeah.
Scott, where do you place this blame though? Like, is it certain, not that we have to place blame? Oh, something's happened with the. Oh,
No, it's all good.
Yeah. Today, who's that on? Do you think Conte set us up right? Do you think he picked the team right? Do you think that it was just the players that he picked that didn't perform what he wanted? Like, what went wrong today?
So, first 10, we weren't good at all. That can happen. We were caught on the hop, a little bit cold, fine. Then we started finding our rhythm. Reguilon's got to score.
Yeah.
Done. He was happy to hit the target, but for a left back, I'm not going to hold him up to a cross to that and say, you got to do better. He's hit the target. Fraser Forster's, like I say, a man mountain, saved it. We then got our goal, which was a fantastic team goal. Same as the second one, really. But we sat back. I think it's a Tottenham mentality, isn't it?
Do you think that's instruction? Or do you think that we just
I think once a team's out there and playing, I know how loud Conte is. We've all heard him, but you've also got 60,000 fans shouting as well. There's not a lot that can really change mid-half, I don't think. I think it was just a mentality thing where we scored the goal against the run of play, and then we went, oh shit, we've got ourselves into a position where we don't deserve to be. So let's hold that. Instead of going for the jugular and going for the second, third, whatever it was by half time, we sat back. So we scored on 18 and then conceded by 23rd. And it was quite evident. Look, it's a massive mistake from Davies. He is prone to that, unfortunately. 9 times out of 10, he's a 6.5, 7 out of 10. But he does have that in him. And then we just couldn't clear our lines. And Brozier is a composed finisher. Side foot, half volley from that far out is a great finish. And then the second 2 goals are fantastic crosses. I know it's James Ward-Prowse, but you watch him play 10 games or maybe 5 games. I don't think he's putting in 2 better balls than he did for that.
Of course.
I don't think
it has to happen against Tottenham Hotspur, obviously.
Every time against Tottenham. I
that
said
was
it in
Ericsson-esque, though, wasn't it? That you see those crosses. That was like Ericsson Deli crosses.
That's
like,
Ericsson Deli against Chelsea at home,
That's
2017.
exactly what I had in my mind.
Yeah, like the half crosses, you know, in the half spaces, yeah.
But to hit those first time,
going to do for us next season.
Let's take away the Tottenham glasses for a second. Appreciate those crosses. That any other day of the week, you'd be like, wow.
Mate,
they're on the money. They're on a sixpence.
He just signed a new contract, didn't he?
Has he just signed a new contract?
I think so, at the beginning of the season or something.
He's too good for
He's
Southampton.
26. Yeah, he's 26 years old. I would have him tomorrow, unless we got Ericsson back. I mean, I know that's a nostalgia signing. There's been talk of it. Conte's come out and said his piece. He's a part of Tottenham. He's a part of Tottenham's story. He'd have him back. I'd have either tomorrow, to be honest with you. And I think they do fit quite nicely into that because, like I said earlier, I think he's quite underrated in what he does aside from the set pieces and the crosses. I think he links it up quite well. He could bulk up a bit. He's maybe a bit slight, but on the whole, that's a fantastic player. That's a standout player in that team who are, as we've seen today, a very good outfit.
Yeah, look, I completely agree with you.
Definitely.
Just one question before you go. Ward-Prowse for 50 million or Ericsson for free?
Depends what we do with the 50 million we don't spend on Ward-Prowse.
In Levy's
proper
back
Tottenham
pocket,
answer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going on a cinema, Scotty.
Yeah, exactly.
If we go out and spend 25 on Jed Spence from Forest, from Borough, he's on loan from Borough, isn't he? Then maybe. I think the right back's a massive issue, to be honest. Yeah. But Ericsson nostalgia, Ward-Prowse has probably got 3 or 4 years on him. So yeah, I'll probably take Ward-Prowse. If I'm talking what I want, instant success, I'll go Ward-Prowse at the moment.
I think we could have both of them. Like I honestly think this summer we could drop 40 million and have both of them. I don't think Ward-Prowse would cost 50.
The thing with Ericsson, people said when he down tools, blah blah blah, he was still running the most in that team.
Yeah,
still doing 10, 11k every game. Like his quality obviously dipped in that last 6 months, and that's why we did get rid in Jan. But he was still outrunning your diehards in that team. So
yeah, but let's be honest, Dele Alli's been outrunning everyone this season for Spurs.
And the thing with Ericsson is he knows Conte's system. He's gone off and won something now, so he's got that Tottenham monkey off his back. So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to have Ericsson back.
Yeah, look, let's see how the next 6 months goes. Well, the next few months goes till the end of the season with Ericsson, and we can make a real decision when we've seen him on the pitch. But Scotty, thanks a lot for coming on today, mate.
Thanks for coming on, Scott.
Cheers, boys. Take care.
Cheers.